And welcome to KBLP. We're live with Hollywood Revue. Yeah, not for another least week, Valerie. No time. Not at least for another week. So, let's get right to it. We got some catching up to do with the holidays and everything and work schedule. It's been a little crazy. So, I'm going to start with the week of December 8th through the 10th weekend. Okay, so that's been a couple of weeks now. The number one box office then of December 8th through the 10th was Coco. Okay, number one box office was Coco. And this is a family movie, of course. And despite his family's baffling generations old ban on music, Miguel dreams of becoming an accomplished musician like his idol, the voice of Benjamin Bratt. And desperate to prove his talent, Miguel finds himself in the stunning and colorful land of the dead, following a mysterious chain of events. He meets a charming trickster, and together they set off on an extraordinary journey. If you have not seen this, take your kids to see it while they're off. I think it'd be a really great movie to take them to. Okay, next one, of course, number 2 of that weekend, December 8th through the 10th. Of course, number 2 was Justice League. Of course. So there you go on that. Number 3 was Wonder. Critics, Wonder doesn't shy away from its best-selling source material sentiment, but this well-acted and overall winsome drama earns its tug at the heartstrings. It's called Wonder, and it's based on the New York Times bestseller. I should probably turn this up, no? That would probably help. There we go. Wonder was number 3, and it's based on a New York Times bestseller, Wonder. It tells the inspiring and heartwarming story of August Pullman, born with facial differences that up until now have prevented them from going to a mainstream school. And Augie becomes the most unlikely of heroes. So that was number 3 at the box office. Number 4 was, of course, Thor Ragnarok. What can you say? And I've heard from good sources about Justice League and Thor Ragnarok that it was really, really good. Number 5, December 8th through 10th, was Daddy's Home 2. A comedy that's unlikely to spread much Yuletide merriment. It can only muster a few stray yucks from its talented cast. And Mark Wahlberg's in this one. He plays Dusty, and Brad, Will Ferrell, have joined forces to provide their kids with a perfect Christmas, and their newfound partnership is put to the test when Dusty's old school macho dad, Mel Gibson, of course, and Brad's ultra affectionate and emotional dad, John Lithgow, arrive just in time to throw the holiday into complete chaos. I think it would be a good comedy. We have Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, Mel Gibson, John Lithgow. So it might be a good one to go see if you're in the mood for a comedy. So, and then we have Murder on the Orient Express, which was number 6, which I would love to see this movie. I haven't had much time to do much of anything, but this one I'm planning on at least renting to see, of course. That one looks really good, but the cast is phenomenal, I think. We have Kenneth Branagh, Penelope Cruz, William Dafoe, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp. So what more can you say? That's Murder on the Orient Express. So that sounds really good. I'd love to see that. Okay. Number 7 for that week was Lady Bird. Excuse me. And Rotten Tomatoes gives this one a 99%. Lady Bird delivers fresh insights about the turmoil of adolescence and reveals writer-director Greta Gerwig as a fully formed filmmaking talent. In Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig reveals herself to be a bold new cinematic voice, excavating both the humor and pathos in the turbulent bond between a mother and her teenage daughter. I don't know if you like that kind of thing. That's right up your alley. That is one I probably would not see, just because the premise doesn't even interest me there. I mean, I'm sure it's an excellent movie if that's what you want to see. If so, then by all means go see that one. So we had Lady Bird, which was number 7. And then we have number 8 is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which in itself, that would be, this is one I would like to also see. It sounds really, really good. And that one, of course, has Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell, and it's about, it's a darkly comic drama. After months have passed without a culprit in her daughter's murder case, Mildred Hayes, who is played by Frances McDormand, and she's great. She is absolutely awesome. She makes a bold move, painting 3 signs leading into her town with a controversial message directed at William Willoughby, Woody Harrelson, who's an Academy Award nominee, and he's the town's revered chief of police. So she goes after him for not, thinking he's not doing anything. So check that one out. I think that one would really be good. I love Frances McDormand. She is just phenomenal. She's a great actress. I think you'd really enjoy this one. So we got 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri at number 8. Number 9. Let me see here. I think was Water. Let me check. So there's a couple in there I suggest seeing. So there's a couple coming up we're going to be talking about I think would be definitely worth the see. December 15th through the 17th, the week after. Of course, let's see, what do we have? Lady Bird, 3 Billboards. So December 15th, again, Coco was number 1. This is a week before Christmas now. Coco was number 1 for the previous week. Number 2, Justice League. 3, Wonder. Number 4, The Disaster Artist. That one, the real life story of writer-director Tommy Wiseau, the man behind what is often referred to as the Citizen Kane of bad movies. So if that's something you want to see, then go see it. Again, that would not be a choice for me. Number 5 was Thor Ragnarok. Of course, all of these are up in there, of course. Number 6, Daddy's Home 2. 7, Murder on the Orient Express. 8, The Star. 9, Lady Bird again. 10 was Just Getting Started. Just Getting Started. This is with, I'd love to see this, but I think I'll rent it, not go to the movies to see it, unless you have a $5 night or a cheap night that advertises in your town. It's got Morgan Freeman, Tommy Lee Jones, Rene Russo, Glenn Headley, Joe Pantoliano, George Wallace II. They're just getting started in their age. I think that would be a fun movie to see. Number 11 that week was 3 Billboards. Number 12, A Bad Mom's Christmas. That one is just, for purely entertainment, I'd see it at home, Just don't have the kids around. 13 was The Shape of Water. This one I thought really looked interesting. I saw some previews and trailers. It's by director Guillermo del Toro. And of course, all you can expect is the best from him. His visually distinctive best and matched by emotionally absorbing story. Brought to life by a stellar Sally Hawkins performance. The Shape of Water is an otherworldly fairy tale set against the backdrop of Cold War-era America, circa 1962. In the hidden high-security government laboratory where she works, lonely Elisa, Sally Hawkins, is trapped in a life of isolation. Elisa's life is changed forever when she and co-worker Zelda, who is played by Octavia Spencer, discover a secret classified experiment. And rounding out the cast are Michael Shannon, Richard Jenkins, and Doug Jones. So this one looks really good. Yeah, I agree. It's there hasn't been too many of those, is there? And of course, number 14 was Roman J. Israel. That's with Denzel Washington. What really looks good is a new show coming out on TNT. I think it's January 22nd. The Alienist. It's about it's in the Victorian era. And it's called The Alienist. Dakota Fanning's in it, Michael Burrell. And it's about a serial killer that killing young boys. It looks really, really good. I really recommend that particular series. Okay. Last weekend's box office hits, of course. Let's see what's going on here. We got some coverage to do. I'm trying to catch up in the past weeks. Let's see. Last weekend, which was, of course, Christmas, we had, what's number one, of course? Star Wars The Last Jedi. And this is, again, one I really do want to see. Has anybody out there seen it? Anybody in chat that has seen Star Wars The Last Jedi? I think it's going to, I would definitely go see this. Number 2 was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Have you seen the previews and trailers for this one? I hate to admit it, but it looks hilarious. It uses a charming cast and humorous twist to offer an undemanding yet subtly entertaining update. That's the critic consensus. And of course, when 4 high school kids discover an old video game console with a game they've never heard of, Jumanji, they're immediately drawn into the game's jungle setting. And of